Hi everyone, I'm Kirsten from the Mass Realty Communications team, and today I'm here to talk with Chris Schweiger, who is the owner of the Anchor and Oysterman in Duxbury. At Mass Realty, we know how important quality restaurants are to the community, so I'm really excited to talk with Chris about what makes the Anchor and the Oysterman special places to go, and a little bit about what is the same and different about those two places. So thank you for joining us, Chris. Could you introduce yourself a little more for everybody?
Sure. My name is Chris Schweiger. I'm the owner of the Oysterman and The Anchor in Duxbury. The Oysterman has been open for 5 years, and the Anchor has been open for 3.
Okay.
We opened the Oysterman as being Duxbury's first raw bar. So Duxbury is famous for oysters, and we were shocked to find out there was no raw bar in Duxbury. So we saw a need for that, and 5 years ago, we came up with the idea of the Oysterman, and it's been a great success so far, and we're really, really thankful, and we feel pretty lucky.
Right, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely a great market there for that, and it's surprising, as you said, that there wasn't anything else available at that time. So,
Sure.
Very cool. So before we, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we opened the Anchor a couple years after, realizing that we actually opened it as a coffee and a breakfast shop because we didn't really want to compete with the Oysterman. And we found that there was enough overflow of the Oysterman that we kind of changed gears and we turned it into another little restaurant, kind of a pub.
Okay, that's really cool. So we'll get into a little bit what the difference what the difference is between those two places. But just in general, in your opinion, what impact can a quality restaurant have in a community?
Well, I think a great restaurant can really bring a community together, especially in the last year and a half with all the challenges we've dealt with the pandemic. We were able to keep both restaurants open the whole time, and it was great for a way to connect with people. We weren't able to always serve people in the dining room, but we were able to do takeout at both places. And from day one, we felt a very strong bond with the community. And I think that's the best part of owning a restaurant is that connection you get with the community.
Right. I think that's so beautifully said. It's, a lot of us, we think of a restaurant as just a place to go to eat, but it's the place where we actually connect with people, and food and drink is so important to our culture, right? So.
Yeah, I think so too. If you even think about, I always ask when I interview a potential employee, what was their best dining experience? And usually they don't talk about the food. It's the atmosphere, where they were, who they were with, and hopefully the food was great, but a lot of times they don't remember what they ate. So our goal is to try to give that part of the experience, that atmospheric experience that makes a special occasion even more special.
Right. That's super awesome. Yeah, exactly. Of course, if the food's bad, you're not going to have a good time, but the food can be amazing. And if there's not friendly staff, a good atmosphere, even the decor inside that gives it a unique feel, I think is so important.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So the Anchor and the Oysterman are two different places, and you did mention to us the Oysterman's a raw bar and the Anchor is more of a pub restaurant. Are they in the same building or are they apart?
They're on the same, I guess I'd say the same campus. So
Okay.
There's a development called Millbrook where the Oysterman is, and the Anchor came along a little bit after, but they're about 100 yards apart.
Okay.
So the Oysterman focuses mostly on, obviously it's built around a raw bar, but the most popular item there is our burger.
Oh, okay.
We're a raw bar that sells a lot of cheeseburgers. And we basically what we made was a gourmet Big Mac with fresh ingredients.
Oh, wow.
That's been a real big seller for us. Of course, we do in the summer sell 4,000 oysters a week. So we do move through a lot of oysters.
Okay, right. So mostly in the summer. In the off season, do you still have oysters available or do you just do local?
Yeah, no, we do oysters year round, and that's is always the focal point of the restaurant. The first thing you see is when you walk into the restaurant is the raw bar. And we always have some local oysters, usually 2 varieties, and then we have guests, which might be from the Cape, might be from the West Coast, from Canada, but we mix those up every day.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So then we get the raw bar. We have this amazing gourmet burger that everybody loves at the Oysterman. And then what about over at the Anchor? You said that you guys started breakfast cafe and then shifted more to a pub.
Yeah. So one thing we found with the Anchor is there was a big component of the Anchor was always takeout. And it was especially really important this past year. But we still do a lot of takeout there. It's definitely, the Oysterman's casual. I think the Anchor is also casual, but the Anchor is more kind of kid-friendly, very laid-back vibe. We don't take reservations there. You just kind of come in and grab a seat. which is fun. And the menu is it's still like the Oyster. It's a scratch kitchen. Everything is made fresh there. We have everything from burgers to burritos. Do a nice blackened swordfish, and we even make our homemade crab rangoon, which I really enjoy.
Wow, that sounds excellent. And what kind of drinks then do people tend to come in and pair with their meals? Do you guys have any local brews on tap?
Yeah, we feature Stellwagen prominently at the Oysterman, and that's from Marshfield. They do a great job. And then we're also been paired up with Vitamin C out of Weymouth. But we do, the Oysterman has 20 craft beers on tap. So we are able to mix those up a lot. The Anchor doesn't have as many draft selections, but we do rotate it quite frequently. Both places have kind of fun little wine lists, and they both feature some really great creative cocktails.
Okay, sounds like the whole package. You got the experience, you got a variety of food, great drinks, and people can go to either one depending on what they're looking for. So that's awesome.
And sometimes it's funny, you'll see someone have an appetizer at the Anchor or a drink while they're waiting for a table, or vice versa. It was interesting. We first opened the Oysterman, and when we opened the Anchor after the Oysterman opened, a lot of people hadn't heard of the Anchor. They always knew the Oysterman. And what's great now is some people know the Anchor and don't know the Oysterman. So I think that is a really good compliment that we're doing something right over there.
Fair enough. That's awesome. Great to hear. Do you have a favorite from each place to recommend for someone coming down for the first time?
Yeah, I think the Anchor, I kind of mentioned the crab rangoon, but
right.
Use the typical crab rangoon you get at a Chinese restaurant, which is great. But it's really nice to have. We make it with fresh lump crab meat. We make it with wonton crackers, and we fry them there. The Anchor also does really great wings. Oysterman, definitely I mentioned the cheeseburger, but my go-to dish there is usually the filet. A really nice filet mignon. And obviously we do a lot of seafood. We do a sesame salmon dish as well. Coconut basmati rice and lemon aioli.
Right. So I'm hearing a lot of, classic options, but also these very unique, interesting things like the blackened swordfish and the salmon there. So
our goal is to have something for everyone. So even if a lot of people are like, I don't like oysters. That's fine. There's plenty of things on the menu that don't involve oysters, and a lot of people don't like seafood. That's fine. We have always the goal is to have something for everybody.
Yeah. And that I think is important for trying to get friends or family together, because I think all of us know quite well that getting everybody to enjoy the same meal isn't always easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, that's great. Is there anything else that I maybe didn't bring up that you wanted to mention before we start to wrap things up?
Yeah, well, we're very excited that we have a new project we're launching in the spring, a new restaurant we're opening up in Pembroke, which is one town over.
Okay.
Going to be called The Blacksmith. And one thing about the Oyster and the Anchor, that I think what makes them cool is they're very small, but sometimes that's a complaint because, there can be a little bit of weight if it's busy. But the Blacksmith is going to have probably twice the size of the Oysterman and will feature some old favorites and hopefully some new ones as well. And we're hoping to be open in Pembroke in April or May. Okay,
so stay tuned for that. Where is the best place that people can follow along with the opening of the Blacksmith and as well with the Anchor and the Oysterman? You can always go to our website, which is www.anchorandoysterman.com. Right.
And then we also have, if you go to the Anchor Duxbury or the Oysterman Duxbury, those are our handles on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, perfect. We'll also link those down in the video description so people can get to them super easily. But it's good. I'm sure everybody's super excited about that newly opening restaurant and to come out. And I'm sure everybody's having such a good time just getting out again and getting to gather and get together in these awesome places.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's nice to see people sitting at the bar and the tables and not have to be 6 feet apart all the time.
Right. Feels good, doesn't it? That's great. Well, thank you, Chris, so much for joining me today. I know that I can't wait to come down and try some of those amazing plates, and I'm sure everybody else does too. And then just last thing for anybody watching, I hope you enjoyed. And before we sign off, if anyone wants to feature their local establishment, just get in touch with us with some of the links below as well. So thank you. Take care.
Great. Thanks.